Guten Tag und herzlich willkommen. Today I'm in arguably Germany's oldest city of Trier at the beautiful preserved Roman ruins, the best Roman ruins north of the Alps. And let me tell you, Rheinland-Pfalz used to be part of the Roman Empire for a very long time, and the Roman influence is still very present here, as Rheinland-Pfalz is also now Germany's wine country. 2/3 of all German wine is produced right here in Rheinland-Pfalz, and nothing goes better with a Pfälzer Riesling than a Pfälzer Saumagen. So yes, we are here in Rheinland-Pfalz, specifically in Koblenz, at the Deutsches Eich, where the Mosel and Rhine meet. These two rivers are incredibly important for all of Germany, but of course, here in Rheinland-Pfalz, they are the water that sows the fields of their wine industry. All those wineries and vineyards are sponsored by the natural flowing water sources right here. And of course, to go along with all that wine, they enjoy a dish called Saumagen. Now, Saumagen is not entirely a sausage per se, but it follows a similar process, so please forgive me. So sausages normally are stuffed in intestines as a casing, but here Saumagen is stuffed inside a stomach, so the lining is a little thicker and more a part of the dish, and that's stuffed with meat and potatoes and usually cut up in these little slices, and that's served alongside sauerkraut and of course a glass of their classic wine here, grown all over Rheinland-Pfalz. So we are going to go try it. And here it is. Get a look at this. This is some Saumagen, a very, I guess, bougie version of it. We're at a pretty nice place in Mainz. I'm in Mainz, which is the capital. So yeah, of course, served with the Rheinland-Pfalz wine. I have a Riesling here. And we are going to see how it is. This is a fork and knife sausage, as you can see. The sheep stomach, I don't know if it's actually still there. We'll see. It's a good mixture. There's some carrots. There's some other things in here besides just the meat. So, oh, this is surprisingly delightful. It is. It's meaty, but it has like a nice texture to it. You can tell it's like a mix of vegetables. It's kind of like if you took, a typical meat dish, meat, potatoes, spices, carrots, all those things, and you ground it up and put it inside a sheep intestine. It doesn't sound great, but it actually is really good. Oh. And of course, like any good wine, it should pair perfectly with the dish. The wine, a Riesling, a little tart, has notes of sweetness that goes really well with the spice blend in here. This is scrumptious. This is so good. With some sauerkraut. Wow. The Rheinland-Pfalz, I've been surprisingly impressed by this whole state. It is super nice here. The vibe is so chill, and the food is super good. So yes, a surprisingly delicious sausage here in Rheinland-Pfalz, one that I was honestly not expecting to like as much as I did, but both the pairing of the side dishes and the wine itself, and even just the sausage is good. It's a good sausage. Come and try it here in Mainz, the Hauptstadt, as I mentioned before. And Mainz is actually a super important city in German history, both because of its big cathedral that was important for Christianizing most of Germany, but also in terms of the history of the written word. You see, Rheinland-Pfalz, all the wine production was super important in pressing the grapes. They had wine presses, and in the 1400s, a man named Johannes Gutenberg was actually inspired by these wine presses to invent something called the printing press and also movable type, and made the first printed Bible. Gutenberg is credited with the movable type that created such a popular movement in literature and basically inspired all typing afterwards. So the entire reason we have the written word is because of a man right from Mainz. So of course, Johannes Gutenberg, very essential to German history, world history, and of course here in Rheinland-Pfalz, all thanks to their wine production that also made that delicious Saumagen. But of course, there's so much more to see in Rheinland-Pfalz than just wine, Saumagen, and Johannes Gutenberg. So here's just a few examples of some things that are kind of famous from here. Like Rheinland-Pfalz's famous river valleys from the Mosel to the Rhine, as previously mentioned, These two rivers make up these stunning valleys full of hills and trees and of course vineyards peppering the sides of mountains, some of the most unique and stunning sights you'll see here in Germany. Truly a breathtaking sight. So no wonder the Romans conquered it for so long. But of course, Rheinland-Pfalz has kicked out the Romans and it's been free of a foreign imperial occupying army at least until, So yeah, the Americans have been here for a long time. Rheinland-Pfalz is actually the place with the most Americans, mainly thanks to the large military presence at Ramstein Air Force Base and surrounding subsequent bases. Then in Kaiserslautern, you'll find a large amount of Americans, both that are stationed here and, of course, all over on these Rhine River cruises that you'll find everywhere. But it's not just Americans. Rheinland-Pfalz is also home to a lot of Chinese tourists, mainly here in Trier at the Karl Marx house. Yes, Karl Marx is from Rheinland-Pfalz. Well, there you have it, Rheinland-Pfalz. Here we are on the banks of the Rhine that gives it its name, enjoying another glass of their famous wine. Now, whether you're here, of course, for the wine or the beautiful nature or the fascinating history, make sure to stop and try some true Pfälzer Zollmagen. Also, Prost!
Rheinland-Pfalz, du bist das Land der Reben. Rheinland-Pfalz, du bist das Land des Weins. Hier bei dir, da möcht ich